What's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36, and this is Big Games BS brought to you by Den Media Group, presented by Alpha Male Jacks. Alpha Male Jacks Clinic is the go-to male enhancement clinic. And male enhancement, let's just redefine what the phrase means. It's not shit wrong with you. We're trying to enhance you. It's a performance enhancement thing. I'm rocking my Marvel shirt right now. So I'm a big superhero. I'm a comic book geek. So basically, we're trying to turn men in 2023, the rest of this year, get your girlfriend, your wife, your kids, the gift of you being a fucking superhero, an actual superhero. Come in, we'll check your blood panels, see where your hormone levels are, check those different things, and then come up with a plan or a strategy so that you can become the best you that you haven't been, or at least go back to what you used to be. Like shit, some of us were great. My goal is to, if I could just get back to what I was when I went to the league. That's my goal. I don't want to necessarily be hitting people. I just want to look good. Just my friend April used to have this thing. It's called "Look Good Naked," or she said the goal isn't to be an athlete; it's just to look like one. And that's kind of just but that's what the strategy is. But bigger than that, the blood panel lets us know what's really going on the inside. So some people look great. Some people don't, but aren't great on the inside. You're like a great fruit that looks beautiful there, but when you bite into the apple, it's nothing but rotten. We don't want that. We want to be good all the way through. And we have something for the ladies too. But the specific sponsor is Alpha Male Jacks. You can go to alphamalejacks.com. Check out all the different things on the website. Also go to andromangus.com if you got some issues where you do want to grow a little bit more. Go to andromangus.com and you can go get information on how to deal with that. All right, they about to get after it outside. Inside the world's greatest cigar lounge, big few weeks coming up here at Goodfellas Jacks. Tonight there's a blues festival. My guy Pierre's doing the official after party. Will probably be open to like 2:30 or something like that. It's gonna be a big deal. A lot of people here. July 1st, after party from the Jeezy concert. Make sure you come check out the lounge. It's gonna be all kinds of fun stuff. Cool people. I have my boy Cheese out here, gonna be grilling, doing the food, all the tasting shit that we always do. Every weekend's a splendiferous occasion. It's always dope. And what else? The Tuesday night, ladies' night karaoke. To come find me. I'm gonna start asking y'all on Monday what song I should sing because I'm gonna sing it. I'm gonna post it. Karaoke is really fun. It's actually a whole lot of fun. I'm not even gonna hold you. But what else? Oh, and then Black Alumni Brunch, which we'll show a picture of that here in a second. Miles is doing our thing where we got to take pictures and shit so we can put up those dope graphics that he puts up at the end of every show. But a little housekeeping as we always do. Fourth annual book bag drive. It's about to get hot and heavy these next 3 weeks. I'm going to annoy the fuck out of you on social media. I'm going to do all of these things because I have a goal and I'm going to try to reach this goal. And the goal is pretty daunting. We have, let's see, let me see how much that actually is. 600 bags we've gotten already. So we got about 22,000 that's raised. And just to let you know, we got a long way to go from there. Long way to go from there. But we're gonna get there. So we got I know we'll have big donors and big donations coming in soon. So that's not the big deal, but $36 a bag, as you can see right now. This is just what the drive looks like. I'm affecting communities in Jacksonville, Tallahassee, and Orlando. Getting the money in now because the first big buy is going to be relatively.
One of the biggest things is that I'm a product of Tallahassee.
Make sure we got all of this stuff going pretty good. You can Cash App MFTK36. You can Venmo MFTK Foundation. You can PayPal mftkfoundation@gmail.com or just go to mftkfoundation.com or jamescolemanGivesBack.com and you could be able to see how you could donate or how you can register. The registrations go live. Registrations go live on July 4th, I believe. So you'll be able to sign up and get the book bag. So we want as many people getting book bags as possible. If we see any good stuff.
Good morning.
STD?
Would it be weird
Oh.
if I showed up at Black Alumni Connor?
Not at all. Not at all. Like I don't like when people say stuff like that. Like not saying Connor, you straight. One, I don't even have to. I can't see, so there you go. No, I see the name. Okay, now it's starting to. I'm focusing in, so I can see Connor's white. I didn't need to know Connor was white to know Connor was white. Just the name. I've never. If somebody could show me a black Connor, I know there's got to be one. I found a black Tyrone, and it was weird. White Tyrone, excuse me. And it threw me off. But I know there is a black Connor somewhere. Man, come slide through, man. I'll just call you light skin. It's like dude, we're gonna go into a lot of this shit today. So bear with me. We're gonna have this is a safe space. A lot of people I always joke with my conservative friends, there's some of the softest, thin-skinned people that I know, but always call people soft and thin-skinned or snowflakes. But we're going to talk about some things because I want to know why people are so mad about some stuff. And there was a landmark reversal. There's been multiple landmark reversals just in this year alone, or since Biden. And I'm telling you, it's not going to have the results that some of y'all think it's going to have. I know why white people, not all, but I know why some white people hate black people. We're as resilient as fucking roaches. Like, we do not fucking die. You sent us here, or not you, but the ancestors sent us here to basically die, and motherfucker, we multiplied like fucking roaches. But we'll go into that a little bit more, and because now you're gonna do the damn thing that you do, Miles, and people gonna be like, this motherfucker coon. He didn't call black people roaches, and that's not what I mean, but whatever. Anyways, my long story short, slide through. I see my good racist friend Blake is here. Blake Nugent. I don't even know how to say it. I'll call it nougat, but like that's like the stuff that's in Snickers, I think. Nugent. Yeah, we're gonna go with Nugent. That's it. Yeah, B Nuggy is the nickname. But he got called racist today. Yesterday. Well, no, they would come after you because you're a Gator fan. They would come after you because you're white. Like, I promise. This is why white. You know why I like white people money? Because it's green. You could be Jewish, Arab. Matter of fact, it's a chick. It's gorgeous too. Damn it, forgot her name. Anyways, I thought she was white. I had no idea she was black until she came to the brunch last year, and she showed me a pic of her dad. Her dad is very black. And I was like, wait a minute. I thought you were white. And she was a black alumni. I'm like, yo, she's mixed, obviously, but whatever. Black alumni brunch, it's not a divider as much as it's a descriptor. We didn't make up, even though we have more black people at Florida State than FAMU has on their campus, that's just because it's a large fucking university. You make up like such a small percentage of the people that like you gotta find something to unite you, like to make you feel comfortable. There's nothing wrong. I'm gonna tell you how I know my Pilgrim people like it. You know what? My son's going on a Disney cruise. And you know what's gonna happen? And I always tell people, because I've traveled the world, I never feel more American than when I go out of the country. Because you know what you're looking for? White, black, Arab, doesn't matter. If you're American, you're looking for other fucking Americans because you're in an area where you're not familiar with, and you see somebody, oh man, he sounds like me. He uses the same dialect. Man, what's up? What's going on? Super fucking friendly. They talk about this also like in wartime. Everybody was cool, but then when you came back to the States, everybody goes back to what they're used to, which kind of stinks because you could just like be normal. But it happens. I'm not mad at people for it. Like I wouldn't, like when I was growing up, like when I went on my first cruise, I was 10 about to turn 11. I had a cool little white boy. I forgot his name. My mom I gotta get my mom to tell some of these stories. We was kicking it. We became friends. We was kicking it all over the boat. This little white boy, I never know. I still don't know his name. Don't know what happened to him. We didn't have Facebook in there. And his parents let him hang out with this little colored boy. I wasn't little, but like I looked like a grown ass man, but I had to explain I'm only 11 because I was just tall. But that part.
Yeah.
That part. Looking for some food. I'll tell you a funny travel abroad story. But we was just kicking it. Just little kids over here trying to, holler at girls that was our age, because there was like some Brazilian teenage chicks or something on that cruise. And, it was just living our best lives. But I get it if his mom didn't want to let him come and have a sleepover in the projects with the people that he doesn't know. I can't protect him from everybody. I can only protect him from some people. And you only get the pad. One thing about hood passes only work, one, if you are that person, and two, if that person is really there.
Yeah.
Like, if you're by yourself, like training day was actually almost a really good example of what a hood pass works like. When the white boy at the end of it, I think it's Ethan Hawke, goes and he's looking for Denzel, but he goes to the projects that Denzel told him never go to without him. But normally, like, them guys was looking at him. If he wasn't coming for Denzel and they wasn't pissed, they probably would have whooped that motherfucker ass. Just like Smiley and them, which is still one of the wildest scenes. They weren't going to just kill this man. They were going to, anyways, whatever. Just go watch Training. I may go watch Training Day again today. But the food, like when I went to South Africa the first time, the food was so different and pure that it tasted weird to me, and I got sick. I couldn't eat it. Like the meat just didn't taste the same. Like the chicken didn't taste the same as the chicken. They didn't pump it up with the steroids and the fillers and all that thing. It was like that chicken is just regular ass chicken. I remember asking, because I was changing my diet. I was a player. I was like, I don't drink, just go and just drink regular juice. Because, if you ever look at our juices, they'll tell you it's 20% juice. And I asked, I was like, well, is this 100% fruit juice? It was such a foreign concept to them. They're like, what the fuck? How could you not have 100% juice? What do they teach you in America? I'm like, yo, we don't know what the fuck we're drinking. I can promise you that. Like, they have to, if it's 100% juice, they have to tell you that it's 100% juice. And even then, when you look at the back of the label, it's 100% juice with a whole bunch of other shit in it. So, oh man, but it was so good. Like, that's why when I go to Jamaica, when I go to these other, I love like getting my diabetic on, like, because I'm just drinking fucking juice because the juice is just so good. But then I found this guy that's trying to make me feel better. Like, woke. Again, I'm not using woke like Ron DeSantis, but this is what woke used to mean for Black people before white people hijacked it. Some of y'all are too woke that you just need to go to sleep. And then there's a guy who's a vegan, and he sounds like my friends that just got out of jail. He uses a bunch of big words. And so you're kind of like, okay, well, maybe he knows what he's talking about. But then you're like, nah, I think he sounds crazy. He's talking like, instead of H2O, it's H3O or something that juices. Yeah, like he's just like, you got to get the hemoglobin and it gets into your circadian rhythm and it goes to blah, blah, blah. I'm like, man, I just want to live, bro.
A bald version of, like, back in the 90s, those guys who, my brother.
Yeah, they must. They're basically like, yeah. It's like Umar. Like, I like Dr. Umar. He says some righteous things. But like, yo, man, it can't be like your life can't be fun. Like if it like I got some vegan friends who truly live, and they don't live like him. Okay, there we go. Because like some of this stuff, I'm just like, yo, whatever. But anyways, while you're doing this, please push the like button. And we're trying to get to 3,000 subs. We're at 2186, I think, right now. So it's kind of cool. We're steady climbing. Every day we're getting close to about 10 more people. I would love to get to that 3,000 number. Please, if you're an FSU fan or anybody else, just get to that 3,000 so I can give away these 2 tickets. If not, that's cool too. I'll sell them because the prices are going through the roof. But once we get to 3,000, we're giving away 2 tickets to the LSU Florida State game. And then we're also, if we get to 5,000 before the season, we'll give away 2. Probably going to do a special Florida State LSU kickoff special. I'll call my guy who covers LSU. We'll call a bunch of different people. We'll have other people on. We'll have a really, really good talk about that. We also, once we get this, we'll be doing giveaways. If we get to 3,000, we'll still give away the $300 to somebody live, plus money for the plus to somebody else will win whatever the amount of likes we have at the end of that show. So we'll give away 2 cash giveaways on that show. Would love to be able to get if we get 100 people on a 100 eyes on the show, I will give away $25 on that show as well. Anytime we go in, if we can hit all four of them bitches in one show if we want to. Give me the 5,000, we'll give away 300, 400, 500. We'll do all kinds of shit. Just trying to coerce you guys into doing what you should be doing. Anyway, consider being a member. Membership levels start at $3.99 all the way up to $9.99 all in. If you're an all-in member, you get to live like me. You'll get a membership here to Goodfellas. You can come see Jeezy on Saturday if you wanted to, but we only have 2 of those. I'm pretty sure neither one of those guys are Jeezy fans, which is cool. But maybe I'll get some country music concerts or rock concerts too. I get access to a lot of things because I was good at hitting people and doing stuff a long time ago. So, tailgate tickets too. If you can't get tickets to the tailgate, LSU, Florida State, one of the best things we got to do. Oh, actually, post that right there. That one. This is like this is what I do. I try to keep up with people the kids who come to my camps and stuff like this. That kid's grown a lot. Like I think he's 11. The boy, but if you see the shirt, that's a good ass looking shirt. And that's a white kid rocking a brother. A football, the rocking the 3-6 with the bobblehead football, Florida State football player. Mom's awesome. Love them. They come out, support the Jacksonville camp, book bag drive. But, so that's just so people know it's just not little black. Because this is how I know people be kind of not it's race-ish, not racist, race-ish. There's nothing wrong with a little ish. A good time racist joke is pretty good. If it's funny, you just gotta make sure it's fucking funny and there's no ill intention. When you're raising funds, right, or you're going out here, and if I had a camp full of trailer park kids, right, which is typically white, it's the white projects, the white apartments is the trailer park. It's basically how I come. You know how much money I would get? Probably zero. When people are writing these checks, they are expecting to see a bunch of little black kids running around and getting stuff. But my book bag drives and the camps it's actually a really good mix of people. I was shocked the first time I did it. I don't ask for W-2s. I don't care about your race. Don't care about anything. You drive through that line, you get a book bag, get a week's worth of groceries. You could be a multi-millionaire. Boy, but when I tell you some of the cars that I saw come through there, it made me want to be like, hey, man, nah, dog, you go drive your ass up the street, bro. Like, you go return that car and stop paying that high-ass note, and then you come back through here. Come here in a jalopy, in a hoopty. But whatever, it is what it is. You never know what people are going through. What's that big game? I'm going to need you.
I'm getting my cigar game just finished. You got any beginner cigar suggestions?
Yes, my favorite line is Drew Estate. And Drew Estate has this line called Acid. Acid cigars. Now, again, it just depends. If you drink straight liquor, then you can go ahead and jump up a little bit. But if not, you'll some of the cigars I smoke and they'll probably ruin your experience because you don't have the palate. So I want you to go and get an acid. They have acids, and they have this one called Cuba Cuba. Those are really well constructed, sweeter cigars that you can start smoking those, and then you can kind of branch up from there. That's what I would do. The novice stuff, and I don't pick on people because everybody likes their stuff. I happen to be friends with the largest purchaser of tobacco in America. So I can't brag to anybody because he can brag on me. But but I don't smoke them. When people give me like the Hennessy cigars, man, I ain't smoking that shit. I don't like those things. You may like them. If you like them, great. I don't. But I would suggest start with Drew Estate. Go with those lines right there. Then you can go up to Undercrown. You can go up to and then when you're ready for the big dogs, go Ligas. Every Friday I smoke a Fuente, Arturo Fuente cigar for my Fuente Fridays. They make the Opus X brand. really smooth, good smoke. But again, you're talking about a $40, $50 stick. If you ain't really a smoker, like you probably shouldn't do those out the gate. Yeah. So just sold a few nickel bags. I ain't mad at that, man. I need to do that March. But but nah, that's what I would do, Brandon. But make sure you're going to thehumidor.com. That's still my people. And if you're gonna do it and you find something you like, I suggest buying a box at a time. Box is roughly, something decent, $150, but you're gonna get 20 cigars. It's gonna bring your price per stick down. And if you type in Godfather all caps, you're gonna get a little 20% off discount there. So I'll make sure you do those things. So like now, getting into whatever the hell it is we're talking about because we went a little bit long because I went on a tangent, even though I'm gonna talk about some of that stuff. If you're a Jags fan, something that I spoke about a while ago finally came through. I talked about Cam Robinson being suspended. It's official now. He's suspended for 4 games for violating the PED policy. NFL has made a lot of concessions with a lot of their suspensions. Matter of fact, you can basically smoke a whole fucking you can smoke an eighth a day and probably not fail the piss test anymore. Like it used to be like you have a trace of marijuana in your system and you're getting suspended. Now they just said, fuck it. We're not gonna Josh Gordon's too good. We can't lose Josh Gordon and the Jaguars former wide receivers, Justin Blackman. We can't keep losing these young talents because they can't put the damn wacky tobacco down. So we're gonna just say, fuck it, smoke. You guys are smoking, smoke anyway. You really have to have a lot of weed in you. I'm talking about you have to have an amount of weed in your system to where like you just can't fucking function.
So what's one of the biggest problems? Domestic violence. Sorry if you hear someone wipe out in the hell.
Very few. When I get high, I just want to go to sleep. But Cam, statements from the Jags. We are aware of the 4-game suspension today. While we certainly respect the NFL's ruling and are disappointed with the development, we will support Cam as he works his way through the suspension. We are confident that Cam and our team will rise above this challenge as we collectively move forward. A statement from Cam. As a veteran leader in the locker room, I always want to set good examples, and my actions in this instance are not a reflection of that goal. I apologize to fans, my coaches, and most importantly, my teammates. It hurts me that I cannot be there with my brothers at the start of the regular season. I will attack training camp the same way I have for the last 6 seasons to make sure I am ready both mentally and physically. Wait a minute. That sounded like he was taking the needle in the ass. Like you was doing roids? Most people would be like, I'm going to fight this suspension. I'm going to appeal it. This sounds like a concession to me. I don't know. 4 games, though, for PEDs is not bad.
Yeah.
And it's the first 4 games of the season. Who do the Jaguars play? A lot of fans are worried and curious. Oh, my God, we're going to lose our starting left tackle for the first 4 games of the season, who's been oft injured. You start off the year with the Colts. And our friend of the show, AR5 now, Anthony Richardson. You start off the season with a rookie quarterback and a team that's rebuilding. What do you have next? You have the Texans, who just drafted the quarterback from Ohio State. I can't think of his name. And they're one of the worst teams in the NFL. You start off the season with a rookie quarterback, 2 games with rookie quarterbacks, and teams that are rebuilding. Then you play the Chiefs. All right. But they just lost their best defensive end. So they're not as scary, but better team than you. But you've played them very well. Then you know you play after that? Play the fucking Falcons. How many of you people know who Desmond Ridder is? That's right. That's their starting quarterback right now going into the season. So what I'm saying is, did he just get a 4-week vacation? And they going to London. So like your first week in London, you ain't got to do shit. Because they're going to let him travel to London. because he will be available for because they're going back-to-back games in Europe. So he'll be available for the second week while they're overseas in Europe. So, like, the Jags still, if you told me to predict the Jags season, I would have told you they're 3-1 with or without Cam Robinson. Like, if you can't go 3-1 with that roster, man, maybe this team isn't as improved as we thought. It's tough now because we have expectations of you. And can you live up to the expectations, which is going to be indicative of coaching and this term that everybody loves to use, culture. If the culture has truly changed, what can you do when people are looking at you? Had a friend who works with the Gators, behind the scenes, one of the Gators NIL collectives, and he asked me, he's like, this year is going to be like crazy fun for you this fall. He's like, you're going to be working like your ass off, but it's going to be crazy fall. He knows I coach at Mandarin. We're extremely talented. He knows I played at Florida State. Obviously, I cover Florida State, cover everybody, but obviously Florida State is a little bit more who I care about. And he's like, that's going to be tough. Because we're good and we have expectations. And then you cover the Jaguars. All of these guys are really, really good, but ain't nobody done shit yet. So, like, it could be really, really good or it could be really, really bad. But I will say this, that suspension couldn't have come at a better time. Now, here are some suspensions that actually will hurt because a couple of the teams that we play in, they've got guys who are facing suspension. So, first up, if it shows up, the Titans are losing their offensive tackle for 6 games for violating the NFL's gambling policy. He's not even fucking cheating. He's just out here gambling. Petit Ferrer is adamant that he did not bet on NFL games, but he is being suspended for gambling at the workplace.
Oh.
So you cannot gamble on your phones or while you're on the team's Wi-Fi. I kind of get that. You're on their time. It's kind of similar to when John Morant got suspended the first time for guns. It's not that you can't have guns. It's just they don't want you to have it while on the time. But he says, firstly, I want to say that it's an honor to play in the NFL and it has been a blessing to play the game. The NFL plans to announce another round of sanctions regarding its gambling policies, and I will be included in this group of players serving a 6-game suspension. The betting I engaged in was not NFL related and was legal under Tennessee law. It is only being sanctioned because it occurred at the Titans facility. I want to apologize to my family, coaches, teammates, and fans. I have also strived in every stage of my life to follow the rules. I did not knowingly break the rules. Even after attending a league presentation, I was unaware about the specifics around placing bets from a team facility. I will do everything in my power to help the team during training camp and will be prepared when I return to the roster this season. So that gives us a little bit of a break right there. That's one guy that's down. Another guy that's down is, I don't know if this helps us or hurts us, but Isaiah Rodgers is a cornerback and a kick returner for the Colts. And Colts have a lot of people who have been getting hit right now for gambling, but he's going to get a season-long suspension for allegations of gambling. One of the guys on the Colts, I don't know if it was him, but like I was talking about the prop bets were crazy. Like he's bet, but it's like cool. It's like the Pete Rose bets. Like he's betting that they're gonna have the leading rusher. I'm like, what's wrong with that? Like I'm betting on my guy. I should be able to bet on myself. Like it's positive. Like so, if I look and I see your bet saying I will fumble 3 times, okay, get your ass out of here. But the thing is, you won't be in the NFL that long if you're really doing stuff like that. I don't know. Somebody asked, I think I saw a Jazz question. Was that Corey Watkins asked how will they use ETN?
Yeah.
Okay. Same with him. They're gonna run inside zone, stretch, and pray that he doesn't fumble the ball as much anymore. And that he can dodge people. And I was hard on ETN because ETN whooped our ass, my alma mater's ass for 4 years. But I'll say this, it was his first actual season. Because right before the beginning of the season, his rookie year, he had a Liz Frank injury, and he actually came back pretty fucking explosive. So I'll give him that. We are for Metro. the state of Florida last year split into metro and rural. So basically, Jacksonville, Central Florida, Fort Lauderdale down, and that's basically it. That is, those are the metro areas in the state of Florida, and then rural is everywhere else. And there was some country ass schools that were crying about not getting a chance to win state, and so now they just don't have. They still don't have a chance to win state. The teams that were in the rural areas, like Tallahassee Lincoln, was the powerhouse when I was in high school, and it still is pretty good. Pensacola and Niceville are in rural. They were winning state championships against Miami teams. Now it's just they got a guaranteed championship. The rural championships go through the Pensacola area, and the metro championships will still go through Miami. But we got a pretty good chance to be able to get there. But we got some cats this year. Good football. Come check out a game. Trust me, it'll be the best $10 you spent. Matter of fact, if you're an all-in package, let me know. I'll put you on the guest list. Actually, no. If you're 36 Mafia and above, I'll put you on the guest list if you want to come to a Mandarin football game. I'll make sure you get it for free. Yes, it's we got some cats. It's going to, trust me, you'll be able to, if we do what we're supposed to do and what we think we do, you'll be able to come see a good half of football and then be able to get out and enjoy the rest of your Friday night because we're going to fucking mercy rule people. Like we are teaching this generation of young men to be fucking bullies. I love it. Like, it's not our fault that your coach, that your parents decided to sign you up for football, but it's our fault. It's our job to let you know that you're just not ready. But anyways,
Is this from last year they were gambling? Or
I guess, or maybe it was this year. So like, people are placing prop bets now, but I think they do an investigation, which lets me know right now. Don't be on corporate Wi-Fi. It's the only fucking way they'll know. Just don't be on their Wi-Fi. Just it's a little thing. So if you don't know if you have an iPhone, swipe from the top right diagonal to the left. And then there's a little button. Little thing with it. You just push that button and you're off of Wi-Fi. Use your get 100 G's or whatever it is. I think I got 50 G's or whatever before I go to roaming, before they slow it down. Just pop up. You're a millionaire. You can afford this shit. Trust me. Stop getting caught stupid. Like, don't do stupid. Like, which is wild though, because you can probably watch porn on the facilities, but you can't gamble.
probably shoot dice. Don't NBA players do it on the plane for each other?
But you can gamble like that. They'll let you play card games. The biggest thing is with sports gambling, they don't want you to do, or just fucking have your home. Like, have your fall guy do the gambling.
Okay. That makes sense.
And don't post them on social media so they can link y'all together. Have friends that nobody knows about. I'm telling you, this is the secret of life. Free game by big game. I have friends that you guys will never know about because I don't need you to know about them. I need them to be in behind closed doors so they can move the way they need to move. That's what I'm saying, Corey. Why use Wi-Fi? I don't know. I'm going to tell you this much. Again, football players, not Rhodes Scholars. Not stupid, but a lot of smart people. I tell you, my sister all the time, who I love to death, a lot of smart people don't have common sense. You go say, I got to go see Luke. Man, Luke played. They came down to Jacksonville last year. They played Bowles. I guess Bowles got to come back up there. But yeah, Luke Crumhawk is must-see TV. That's the thing I hate about coaching, is that there's some kids that I got good relationships with that I would love to go see live. But I'm not going to spend one of our bye weeks to go see a high school kid. I might. John Crumhawk, Luke's dad, is dope. He's the white version of my guy Deloach. And I don't mean that to disrespect Rob, because Rob does a shit ton for the Savannah community. But I mean from like a standpoint of just raising seemingly good people, it's great. RG3 though, sticking with the gambling thing, just he's goofy as shit, and he's a weirdo. But a broke clock is right 2 times a day.
Yeah.
He's like legit weird. Like, why can't I? Why is Twitter being weird? Yeah, Twitter's being weird. Anyways, I can't read all of it, but the NFL is making boatloads of money off of sports gambling and punishing its players for gambling to protect the shield. They simply want to make money off gambling without compromising the sport. It's a do as I say, not as I do situation that will never end. And then he goes on to say a bunch of other shit. It's like it's like when they tell players that they can't like drink or they can't do all these things, but they have commercials all through the NFL showing people drinking and having a great time. It's a wild thing. I'm just ready for pure out capitalism. I should be able to do what I want to do with my money. And if I want to be stupid and gamble, I'm gonna be stupid and gamble. But listen, but they don't want them gambling on sports. I get the implications and the purity and all of this other stuff that happens with it. But oh man, I thought that was something else. But yeah, it's wild. It's weird. But something else that's wild and weird is college. College ball is getting wild and weird like that as well. Damn, I thought I put the you can't gamble in college as well. I thought I put that on there. I didn't. We'll pull up the rules now for gambling in college. Or did that not bookmark it? But they've got tiered suspensions in college for gambling in general or gambling over like on games and stuff like it's like to where you can lose 50% of your season if you gamble on games that you're affected in. If it's like a $200 gamble, you lose 10% of the season. If it's like $500, you'll lose a little bit less. It's just, I'm gonna tell you this: it's just better to not do it. Just don't gamble. I don't understand why, but I don't like gambling on games. It's too much, unless it's a straight up bet. Like I got the one bet for 500. I think it's $500. I forgot what it was. Anyways, it's not enough money for me to really care about. But with the one guy for FSU, the Miami fan that bet on FSU versus LSU, so I guess technically I would be suspended if I were still an NCAA athlete. Which I think a lot of these rules are just antiquated and don't make any sense. But here's what we will go with. College football season is around the corner. And I will say this. I will probably bet on a few games. And I'm going to bet on this one game because it's at Missouri and UF is playing Missouri. So right now, if you're a UF fan and you want to make an early bet, I'm here for you. Because what I love to see is the glow up. You ever seen a woman or a man that was abused and like in a bad relationship and they kind of got down on themselves. And then they left and like now they look like they're flourishing.
Yeah.
That's Jake Garcia. That was the one you just picked up. That was a great click. Jake Garcia is that guy, is that gal. Jake Garcia was committed to the University of Southern Cal and was their bell cow commit. I made a prediction. I told people that he was going to decommit from Missouri and commit to the University of Miami. Nobody believed it. I told my friend JJ, who was working with 247 at the time, hey man, put that crystal ball in. And everybody was like, where'd you get that? Nobody heard about it. Well, guess where Jake Garcia ended up going to college? University of Miami, where he was absolutely miserable. Oh my goodness. Jake looked like he wasn't a thrower of the football. It was sad, man. But then again, he was getting devoured because their offensive line was putrid. Just did not look good at all. Now he left the transfer to Missouri, and he's expected to be the quarterback one. And he's got some top wide receivers to actually throw to. And Luther Burden III, Theo Wise, and Mookie Cooper. Like pretty damn good wide receivers. Dare I say, way better than the University of Miami's wide receivers that he had to throw to. So congratulations on the glow up, sis. I hope you beat the fuck out of Florida. Speaking of Florida, we got Jake. Excuse me. We got Murder Mertz. Graham Mertz. This is a guy that people are saying QB spotlight. Guy who's supposed to tear it up. A guy who a lot of FSU fans remember because he basically got us a Wisconsin quarterback that got benched because he came in to be worse. Mertz is a Wisconsin transfer. He's thrown for 5,405 yards and 38 touchdowns in his career and 8 rushing touchdowns. He's also thrown 26 interceptions and only has a completion percentage of just under 6%. If you need to understand what that means, it means he stinks. He stunk at Wisconsin, but Florida fans are proud and believe that they're going to win 8 to 9 games with Murder Mertz. They're saying that they think that they'll win more games with Murder Mertz, who nobody is going to draft, than they did with Anthony Richardson, who is the number 4 overall draft pick. I love it. If you like it, I love it. But people are going to say, stick to what I know. So I'm going to FSU. Apple Sports dropped their prediction for the 2023 season. They have Florida State finishing 11-2, 7-1 in ACC. Clemson finishing 10-3, 6-2. North Carolina. Here's a big one. Miami finishing 4th in the ACC at 8-4, 5-3. They have Duke, Pittsburgh, Louisville, NC State, Wake Forest, Syracuse, and Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech, Boston College, and Virginia. I'll say this: they have 10 teams that are bowl eligible. Going all the way down to 7-5 Syracuse. That's if 10 ACC teams are bowl eligible. That's a hell of a season. That's a hell of a year. That's most of your conference. With the potential to have a game or two go a different way, you may have 11-12. That showed that the ACC isn't as weak as what people believe. I sure as hell don't think North Carolina's going 8-4 with a top quarterback prospect, and I sure as hell don't believe Miami's going 8-4. But I'll continue. I'll have some predictions and season things that I will be talking about. But I think 2 games is the floor for 2 losses is the floor for Florida State. And I'm assuming they got 1 loss to Clemson. Basically, the month of September, that's probably when they had the 2 losses for Florida State. But we'll see. Right now, On 3, which is literally cornering the market of making people afraid and profiting off of NILs. They did the top 10 most ambitious NIL collectives. They have Tennessee's, they have Texas A&M, Oregon, Texas, John Ruiz at 5, and just behind John Ruiz is Battles In. So shout out to Ingram Smith, my guy Matt, and a bunch of other guys for continuing to make sure that money is that money ain't funny when it comes to our NIL collectives. And trust me, we got some bread. But why do people have this surge of energy and expectations for Florida State? Is because everybody who's doing anything with the rankings is predicting Florida State to be not just much improved, but one of the top units in the ACC in damn near every aspect. It's a lot of static. I want to say some static and mic. But right now they got tentative offensive line rankings. They have, and he broke David. You can go to @David Hale Joint if you want to go check this out. Clemson and Florida. Clemson's number 1 O line. Florida State's the number 2 offensive line, which is good considering that Florida State's offensive line has stunk since forever. David Hill says, I can't believe I'm typing this, but does FSU have the best offensive line in the ACC? In truth, the pass blocking was pretty bad last year. 71st by Pro Football Focus, 101st in non-blitz pressure rate. Jordan Travis's ability to move negated flaws quite a bit. On the other hand, FSU is healthier and added some real talent via the portal. Their second unit would probably be top half of ACC right now. All ACC caliber guys like Scott Emmanuel as second team post spring for varying reasons, and they look imposing. In the 10 wins, they had a 3.5% sack rate, 3.2 seconds to first pressure. In 3 losses, they had a 4.3% sack rate, 2.7 seconds to first pressure. A lot of that is nerd lingo for like finding a way. I don't really remember. I got to go break down some of these games a little bit more because I personally don't remember Jordan Travis outside of a few notable plays where there were some breakdowns where and maybe they just were so much better this year than they had been in previous years that I don't think he was that bad. I don't think the O-line was that bad this year. But it's not just the O-line. 10 in the DB rankings. FSU has the number 1 overall DB unit for everybody crying about our safeties and crying about how bad the secondary. It's and I'm gonna go in lastly with my Florida State thing, and I'm gonna brag on a guy. Coleman, Coach put out conditioning football, and he's got Josh Storms at number 4, right behind Georgia, OU, and Michigan. All good guys. And right before Penn State, Alabama's, and TCU's, all guys who I do know are really, really good strength and conditioning coaches. So, getting a little deep right now before we go back to brevity. You know, there's this term that a lot of people don't understand because the majority of our world is white. Can you see what that said? Big Game James. Yeah, well, Trey's a little intimidated now. He doesn't want to talk as much shit as he talked before. And Russell has an AOS shit talker, but they're big now. Affirmative action was, and I talked to Denny about this, and when I broke it down to him like this, I think he understood. So, just a quick historical lesson. For most of African Americans' experience, we were slaves for way more years than we weren't slaves. Then after that, you had a brief period during Reconstruction where the playing field was not only leveled, it was shifted to where there could become some true equality. Wealth was created. And that's what happens in war. There are winners and losers. But then after that, they went right back to doing the things that they did before, but they put in different laws. This when we put Jim Crow in. Jim Crow was around all the way up until the 60s. And then we had some landmark acts, the Civil Rights Act. We had affirmative action, basically things that stated that you have to have it's not even, people talked about quotas, but there's no real quota. It just meant that you can't discriminate against somebody based on their color, the color of their skin, their creed, their religion, or their sexuality. And that had to happen because for most of America's history, it's been dominated by affluent white males. And what happens is when you only hang around certain circles and there are laws that stop you from hanging around other people. Like there were literal laws. Like you guys got to remember, some of your grandparents had colored sections and colored sections only, white sections only. You could not even mix. Like talking to somebody was considered a crime at some points. So there was no chance to build relationships and rapport. And that was by law. So when you do that, you hire who you're comfortable with. So your circle is you're comfortable with white people because that's all you see. You're comfortable with black people because that's all you see. And so you have to, if you want to have a paradigm shift, you have to put laws in place to shift that. And we had things like, Plessy versus Ferguson. We did the Brown versus Board of Education. Separate but equal, and a lot of different things like that. Because it wasn't separate. It wasn't separate and equal. So once you got equality, you saw things like Harvard and other places have to start admitting people like they weren't. So what people were blaming and why the whole cause was up there is that somebody felt like they were being denied access to higher education institutions because of the color of their skin. They thought it was because they were white. I tell God, and what I want people to realize is all it is stating that people still do what the fuck they want to do. But think about how the quality of your life. We wouldn't be able to have this conversation electronically if this rule wasn't in place. Because I would have never played at Florida State. I would have played at FAMU, but I would never play at Florida State. Think about the seasonings that have happened in your life, the interactions that you have had in your life, the things that are much valuable in your life because of laws like affirmative action. But I want people to step back and I want people to really, truly digest this. It's a bunch of people not a bunch of people, a bunch of powerful people who would never include you at their table anyway. And I know because I sit at that table a lot of times. And I'm not really included. I'm just kind of like at the edge of it. I ain't in there. But I've seen what politicians do. But they have made you believe that it's always somebody else's fault that they're taking away from you. And your quality of life has never improved. They're making you believe that it was the Mexicans, right? The Mexicans took your job, right? What job have you ever lost from a Mexican? I've never lost a job from a Mexican. All the Mexicans, the illegal immigrants that I know, working on the top of roofs. You know where I don't want to be at? On the top of a fucking roof. And you want to know something? This rule won't really affect me because you don't really care about you really don't care about affirmative action. You just were told to care about it. And here's why I mean that. Do you want affirmative action in your secondary? You know what's gonna happen when we see a white cornerback lined up on Peter Ward? We're fucking attacking the white cornerback. You don't care. You really, and people gonna say, "Well, nah, I just want the best available." Well, yeah, there was a time when people said that same shit in the '60s, and the best available players weren't playing. What you're afraid of is to be great and be competitive, because I can promise you, I have never lost a straight up battle. Now I have lost there things with losses and some other stuff that I believe, or again, I think it's more of a circle thing. I couldn't get people to give me $250,000 for a business that ended up making $1 million a year, but somebody can give $250,000 to somebody in a boat. I mean, with a submarine and a PlayStation fucking controller. Those are the things that people people kind of talk about, but that has nothing to do with academics. Everybody bitching about Harvard, you were never going to fucking Harvard. And the crazy part is to think, 34. And what's wild is Harvard. I'm using Harvard because that was the school that was used. Almost 40% of all applicants at Harvard benefited from some version, from a variation of affirmative action. Not they were minorities, but affirmative action. What it means, they got special concessions because they were a legacy. Special concessions because their parents were donors. Special concessions because their parents were faculty. Special concessions because of who they were. It's kind of like when people say they talk about welfare and they pick on they paint this picture of the little colored lady with 10 kids that's milking the system without looking at the fact that bank bailouts. And that ain't nothing but government welfare. It's literally the exact same thing. We have allowed ourselves to get brainwashed by the 1% to sit here and pick and bicker about shit that really does not matter. to the masses.
College applicants for a full house lady.
Yep. That was affirmative action. Basically, basically, you're going to level the playing. Like, I mean, they literally weren't like, okay, the one of the smartest men in the world is Neil deGrasse Tyson. He couldn't get in on his own merits if that wasn't like if that wasn't there available for him. He's one of the smart everything, but he's an astrophysicist. I'm like, who goes into a room? Like, imagine it. Imagine that you went into a room with 10 people, right? 7 of them were white, male or female, doesn't matter. One was Asian, one was black, and one was other because we don't know. We just use a small number. Just think about how bad it is for you to walk into a room and see all these other people and point and wonder why the black person was there. That alone lets you know why affirmative action is needed. You didn't ask how the Asian person's there. You didn't ask it, but you asked how why. And then the crazy part is people don't even look at the statistics enough to know that white women benefit from affirmative action way more. But ironically, you know what they didn't leave? What they did, what the Supreme Court didn't take away? Concessions for sexuality. So women will still get the benefit from that. But you want to know what's the oddest part in all of it, right? Is that they only did it for they left out using race as a consideration for admissions in military academies. So West Point, Annapolis, Air Force. So West Point is Army, Annapolis is Navy, Air Force. You know how hard it is to get into those universities? So let me preface this. Your kid, like if you can get into Harvard, you can get into those. The only difference is you need a senator to actually write you a letter of recommendation to go there. But you don't see people saying, look at that black guy. He stopped my kid from going to West Point. He stopped my kid from going to, it's always ironic where it matters and where it doesn't matter. Because if it were truly equal, or if it were truly had a representation of what America looks like or what your state looks like or whatever, you would have people in your circle that you would be able to lean on that would benefit from this. But I mean, as I always tell people, it probably won't affect me right now personally. Probably won't. And if my kids do what they're supposed to do, definitely won't affect them or their children. But down the road, people are going to, you're not going to be able to outmoney yourself out of the situation. And all you're going to do is see there's going to always be somebody to blame. The people love when a black guy gets shot by the cops. People love to say, "Why are you blaming other people? Blame your own." But they never take that same energy when it comes to why don't you have a job? Why isn't your life better? Why isn't your this thing? That black kid didn't stop you from getting into that college. You didn't. You did. And what if that black kid had a perfect ACT, perfect GPA, like you still, like, the crazy part is you still have to be qualified for the fucking job.
Right.
You still have to be qualified to get into it, or you won't be there.
It's not like bringing dumb kids in.
And my bad, I meant to ask too, like, because this is a very athletes were part of that on 40%. So they do lower the standard for the athletes, but it's because they want to be good in sports. I promise you this: my kids are going to be pretty good at oh my goodness, Jalen Rose just got let go by ESPN. Only fired 20 on there. They let go of Max Keller, Keyshawn Johnson, Jason Williams, Steve Young, Susie Colbert. Damn, they're getting rid of a lot of people. No, nobody knows. But anyways, that's enough about that. My boy Jay Roto, but I laugh at people blaming the population who makes up 7% of these schools for being the reason they didn't get into a school. Just say you weren't good enough. And that's really just the reality. Don't be a snowflake. Don't be everybody deserves a participation trophy guy. Just realize you just aren't good enough to go there. And this law is not going to make it any different. What is this sounding like Twister? Oh, damn. But I don't know. I don't know what to do about the mic static. But speaking to people who aren't good enough, UCF. I'm so fucking tired of UCF getting into sports. You are the little brother, and you're going to enjoy it. Gus Malzahn says he's sick of Florida, Miami, and Florida State being the big three in the state of Florida when UCF has outperformed them all. In and by what matrix? I have no clue. Gus Malzahn, you lost to Louisville, who we beat. Even in our down years, you're not as good. Now, when you go to the Big 12, you're gonna get a rude awakening. You need to go win something, and until then, please, for everybody. Gus Malzahn is doing good in recruiting. I do believe he'll pass. I do believe UCF could pass Miami, but I don't. The Big Three is the Big Three. Everybody wants to get involved. Um, yeah, with recruiting from out of Jacksonville, went to Westside High School. And, Mendes has the ability, talent. Not good right now, or wasn't good in high school because he did absolutely nothing. Is Jordan Hall? They call him Big Baby. And one of the things about rivalries, Georgia and Florida have a rivalry. It's that shit gets talked. But if you can go pull up you don't get to say this. I want to hear Big Baby. Well, this isn't what Big Baby says why he didn't pick the University of Florida. So So, like in this, it's basically a Georgia football player podcast, and they're going on. They're talking about this. Another thing I found ironic is that Big Baby talked about working out, and like this ain't the place to go if you don't want to work. Like this kid accounted for more false starts, more off because he played offensive line too, more offside penalties, and I heard about almost plays that he made, which he doesn't understand what happens when you get trapped because he played a very good athlete. I think if he shut the fuck up, he'll become a really, really good football player at Georgia because he's got a body that he's blessed. Like the guys already gave him a little bit of the genetic lottery, but his mentality is bad. Florida fans got upset. NFL player, the guy from the Browns put that Taven got drafted and he's winning and blah blah blah. I'm like, not really, because here's the thing. Where was he wrong at? As far as Taven Brown, he's wrong with Florida. Florida's had, I think they have a streak of 12 straight drafts, a D lineman being drafted. So guys go to the NFL. Georgia's just hot right now. They've been hot for a minute, but it's just I don't like when guys who haven't made a play are this outspoken. Sometimes you gotta shut the fuck up and make a play. But even though I do love taking the opportunity to take a shot at somebody, but yeah, he got UF fans really, really mad. And I'm finishing it up with just these little cool things. Now, I always tell people my mind can be changed, right? Jordan will never be my GOAT. Doesn't mean LeBron's my GOAT. Because Jordan will never be my GOAT. But it will be my coat. I got to come up with a new coat. Coldest of all time. Andrew Schultz, in their Brilliant Idiot podcast, said something. It's a conspiracy theory. I want other people to see it. I never thought about this. But everything that we know about Michael Jordan, I think we can believe that this would actually happen. That Michael Jordan is this diabolical. And if you go to the like right up under you can't say that, yeah. And just play like it's a very interesting thing, theory. But now that we know the full history of all the participants involved, I don't think this is out of context. But this is what I don't like Andrew Schultz's mustache, but it just throws me off. Like I don't really, but yeah, let's play that.
Coming through.
Did Michael Jordan send Larsa Pippen to Scotty to destroy his opportunity to become? Oh, I don't know, but it's not under. But now that this firstborn son, you're talking about a guy who was in his pocket and was ready to bet a chick her virginity. You didn't hear that? No, somebody else heard it. So obviously somebody must have heard it. I'm just saying, like that's why I'm like that's why Mike. That's why I believe it. I think, and he's again anybody who's willing to bet a chick's virginity over a dice game is a guy who's willing to take steps that nobody else is willing to take. Another thing, there's been a couple podcasts just keep coming up back and forth. But this one that had Grant Hill, if you go to the next one, Grant Hill basically summarizes what I think we all have to stop looking at the 90s, the 80s, or our past with these rose-colored lenses of men who just went out and competed and did absolutely and played with what they couldn't. Couldn't hear. Oh man, that's tough. Don't worry about it. Maybe there's something going on with the noise. Who knows? Well, damn, that sucks. We'll post it on our social media so you can hear it, but it's basically the subtitles. Thank God for subtitles with these reels. But yeah, damn, that sucks. Well, then don't play the other one. Forget all of that. Did you hear the Jordan Hall one? Yeah, yeah, put the thing up, Moss, so we can see the comments.
Yeah, a couple things behind this.
Not fair. Damn, that mean they're not gonna be able to hear this either. Then that kind of fucks up the last couple parts of the show. But fuck it, because I was gonna end it with we'll see if you can hear it. If you can't, then we'll end the show pretty quick. But AI is terrible, but funny at the same time, and just what people could do with it. I found on IG somebody used AI with SpongeBob and Patrick, singing some of the favorite hits. I don't know who Session 32 is, but if you could push the next one on that, Miles, that would be cool because this should have me. I was in stitches. Y'all might not think it's funny, but I was in stitches. But go to the next one. I think you probably got to unmute that. No way. Hold on, man. Because I was just playing this shit. Now that's not us. Maybe they can hear it with the scratchiness. Yeah. I don't know why it's not playing it on that. If you watch SpongeBob, you would know. You would get it. It's just. It's just. It's just. This right here sounds like SpongeBob. This actually might sound better than the original. I want to hear more of this one. I love Anita Baker too. This one hurt me. It just sounds. It sounds. And then this right here. That's basically how. If you want to know what karaoke sounds like, that's basically what karaoke sounds like. There, it was good and awful at the same time. Anyways, man, you guys have a great weekend. We'll be back on Monday. Yeah, we'll be back on Monday. July 4th. July 4th is coming up. Make sure you avoid. Don't let us catch you drinking Bud Light while you're out here on July 4th. You'll catch the gay. Because every day this guy Sam Matthews, who played offensive line at Alabama from Jacksonville, made a post. And it's like people are really proud of what they're doing. And I'm like, hey, real men drink liquor anyway. So why are you drinking beer? You're an identifier if you drink beer anyway. So, but on that note, man, you guys have a good one. Appreciate you guys for chopping it up with me. Hopefully, we're gonna try to continue to get some sound upgrades. Don't know what the fuck happened, but we will figure all of this out. Y'all have a great weekend. Stay out of trouble, and remember, do not hold the fireworks in your hand for too long. We don't want you guys to be like JCP or Paul. All right, bye.